Hello and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and thank you to everyone who is joining me this evening. And Mary, me, Anissa, it's good to see you. Many thanks to Reverend Brian, who filled in for me last week. I thought I would be able to join, but I wound up taking longer than I thought I would. So I hope everyone has had a good week. If you've got a question for me, go ahead and post it in chat. Or just post and say hello. I've had an interesting week. Very, very busy. I am getting ready to go to the Pagan Unity Festival near Jackson, Tennessee next week. So Reverend Don will be filling in for me next week. I will not have enough bandwidth to be able to go live. I will be doing tarot readings and numerology charts there, as well as teaching the major arcana. Hello, Reverend Brian. Hope you are having a great day. What do you mean she huffs and puffs? I am not huffing and puffing. And Mary, you meet Kylene. Good to see you from Australia. So if anyone has a question, go ahead and post it in chat. Good to see everyone tonight or today. I know it's the middle of the day for Kylene. Oh, Brian says I'm going to Puff. Well, Puff stands for the Pagan Unity Festival, so. And Renee says, hi, Mary. Could I get a general reading? And hello, Renee. Good to see you. And yes, we can do a general reading for you. Let me get all shuffled up here. Slide my computer back and give myself a little more room to shuffle. We had beautiful weather today here in Tennessee. After all the storms Tuesday, it's been nice the last 2 days, and I have many frogs in my yard. Kylene says it's the middle of a cold, wintry day here, but Kylene is in Australia, so she's getting the other end of the seasons. All right, so the first card I've got for Renee is the Princess of Swords. So, swords are around communication, and the princess is telling you to be careful around your communications and be sure you don't leave any chance for miscommunication. And then I've got both the Ace of Cups and the King of Cups. So there's a lot of emotion in your situation. The Ace of Cups is the essence of cups. So this says you are feeling a lot of emotional energy right now. So be aware of that and be ready to use it. And the King of Cups is talking about being in a situation where you are happy with what you are feeling. So, really, things are looking good for you in the emotional area right now. Just be careful with your communications. So, I hope that is helpful, Renee. Yeah. All right. And Kylene has asked for a reading for doing a ritual for the new moon spot in a few days. All right. Let me get shuffled up here. Hey, Anissa, good to see you. Well, I shuffled and I shuffled and I shuffled. You saw that. And I start out with the King of Cups, which is again talking about being in an emotionally satisfying place. I then got the Four of Lamps, and she's actually looking up at the full moon, but we still got moon energy here. And with the Four of Lamps, this is talking about using your spirituality to help your community. And then we've got the Six of Lamps, which is talking about new endeavors, learning new things. So I would say it is favorable for your ritual. And hello to Magical Mermaid. Good to see you. And Magical Mermaid just gave me all the phases of the moon. Those are some cool emojis. And excuse me just one second. I need a tissue and they are not quite in reach. I will be right back. Mm. And I am back with my tissue. It's allergy season here. You are welcome, Kylene. And it seems like everyone in the neighborhood decided to mow their yard today. So allergies upon allergies for me. So, does anyone else have a question for me right now? Okay. Oh, I'm excited to be teaching my class on the major arcana. I'm going to be teaching it on the Rider-Waite Tarot, not the Tarot of Hecate, so it'll be the standard one. And Magical Mermaid said rain. Well, we're due for rain this weekend, so it'll wash the pollen out, and I hope it won't be as heavy as some of the rain we have had, because we had very heavy rain earlier in this week. But then if we have really heavy rain, all the grass will grow and everyone will be right back out mowing their yards. And yeah, here I'll be again. So, well, I would like dry weather out in West Tennessee for the Pagan Unity Festival, since I'll be camping. Well, I don't camp anymore. I'll be sleeping in a cabin, and the bathroom will be a few doors down. So I would prefer for it to be dry for our stay at Puff. So hopefully it will be. Yes, Magical Mermaid, showers bring flowers. Flowers are beautiful. The pollen, not so much. Pollen is necessary, I recognize that. Except for when I've been coughing and sneezing all day long. So, does anyone else have any interesting travel plans coming up? Since no one is asking for a reading right now. And if anyone is in the Indianapolis area, I am planning to being at the Galactic Expo in the Indianapolis area on June 14th and 15th, and I'll be doing readings there. And Gaia Thrift has joined us and says, I forgot it was Thursday. Pollen is plant sperm. Yes, it is. Magical Mermaid said, I used to have allergies, but a flu shot knocked it out 2 decades ago. Yes, so plant sperm is tickling my nose. We probably need Brian back to comment on that. Or Fluffy. I have had my flu shot. And a flu shot has never taken my allergies from me, unfortunately. I have had them ever since I was a small child. And Gaia Thrift says, I just got back from Chicago where we had our first dust storm in history. And that must have been shocking. And Gaia Thrift, which is Ed the Pagan, says, I am a vaccinated person. Yes, I'm well vaccinated. It just never got rid of my allergies. I wish it would. I will take allergy meds before bed. All righty. Does anyone else have a question for me? I will throw up our caption if you would like to book a private reading with me, or a numerology chart, or a private reading with Reverend Dawn or Reverend Brian, you can do so at divinationtv.com, your destination for all things divination. And since no one is asking for a reading right now, we are going to pause for a word from our sponsors. Well, wait a minute. Magical Mermaid has asked, is my mother still drinking? All right. We will take this question and then we'll go to a word from our sponsors. Okay. And Magical Mermaid says she's 79 and not supposed to be drinking. Well, while I'm shuffling, I'll say if she's 79, she's going to do what she's going to do, but let's see what the cards say. Hello, Ed. He says, my reading persona, Coven, has been dangerous in his readings. Well, Coven always tells it exactly like it is. Definitely. All right. So for Magical Mermaid. Hmm. Hey, Fluffy, I just mentioned your name and I summoned you. Well, the first card I've got is the Chariot, which indicates things are moving quickly. Then I got the King of Pentacles, which indicates being in a good position. And then Magic, which means you will need to use your magic. And then I got the Veil, which indicates something hidden here. So, yes, I am inclined to say she is drinking and you do need to do something about it. So, we are going to pause for a word from our sponsors because we love our sponsors. And then when I come back, we are going to start with Nisa and then go from there.
Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from the beautiful metaverse. And I would like to invite you to my Don art showing and auction on Friday, May 9th, with original pieces and prints of my artwork and other interesting items with the auction at 5 p.m. on Whatnot. And please stay tuned for more announcements and examples of art that will be coming. Thank you.
And thank you to our sponsors, Equinox Learning Hub and Reverend Don's Art Auction, and that has been rescheduled to May 11th. And yes, Magical Mermaid, do visit her and give her a hug. Okay. Anissa, let's see. You asked me what's a better time for a reading, July 1st or July 4th or August 1st? Uh, I don't know that any one time is better than another. To be honest, if you feel like you need a reading, schedule it when you're able to do so. And now I'll be happy to do a general reading for you. Let me get shuffled up here. Alrighty. So I've got the Emperor, who is the Lord of Time and the cycles of time. So when the Emperor comes up, remember that everything moves in cycles. If things are going well for you, take thought for tomorrow and save some money back. If things aren't going so well for you, then just remember things will get better. They always do. I have the Seven of Swords, which means that you are in a position right now where success is possible, but you're going to have to work for it. But ultimately, that you have the sun, so things are going to turn out well for you. So I hope you find that helpful. And then Fluffy has asked for a general reading and adds that he likes to be summonable. I summoned you because I was fussing about my allergies and someone pointed out that pollen is sperm. And I said, yes, sperm is tickling my nose, and I needed either you or Brian to make a comment on that. And then next will be Bhavana Sharma. And then I'll have to look further down in the chat after that. And again, if anyone wants to book a private reading or a numerology chart with me or a private reading with Reverend Don or Reverend Brian, you can do so at divinationtv.com. And we got a jumper. So the one that jumped is Soul. Here we see uh, the goddess as Mother Earth with her son as a small child. So we're looking at the start of the soul's journey with many lessons to learn. So there are some lessons for you in your current situation, Fluffy. Next, I've got the Eight of Cups, which means whatever you're afraid of right now, it's not real. Turn around and make a face at it. It's really not real. Two of Lamps. So look around you and see who you can help. And finally, Strength. So, whatever challenges you are facing, you have the ability to overcome them. Okay. All right. And Bhavana says, hey, would you tap into my current energy? It's more like dissembling. Strangely, what validation I need, but could tap into my general ongoing energy and tap into the love a bit. Well, I can do a reading for you and see what love looks like for you. And Anissa, I misunderstood you about when will you see a possible person in your life, but since you got the sun, things are looking good for you. All right, let me shuffle up the cards for Bhavana. And then we have a reading for Helga. Let's see here. Now we've got a reading for Felicia and then Helga. And hello to Crystal. And thank you. Crystal is complimenting my hat and my hair. Okay, Bhavana. So, first card I've got for you is Three of Wands. And this means you are going to get help from an outside source. I've got Two of Pentacles, and here we see a young man learning to sculpt under the eye of his mentor. So you're going to be learning some new skills from a teacher or a mentor. And finally, we've got Temperance, where you see on one side it's day, one side it's night. We have male on one side, female on the other. We have someone who is white on one side and a person of color on the other. So, what we have is a melding of opposites. And when temperance comes up, it means you have to take many different parts and make of them one whole, with the idea that the sum of the whole is very much greater than the sum of all the parts. So I hope you find that helpful. Okay. And Crystal says, I've been part of the site for a while as a student, but can't get into my account currently to continue studies. So I catch the lives where I can to share space with similar vibes. Well, you're always welcome here, Crystal. If you are referring to witchschool.com, if you're having issues, email tech support at witchschool.com and they will be able to get you back into your uh, account. Okay, let's see here. Felicia is next. So let me get shuffled here, Felicia. Hope you're having a good evening. I'll shuffle up here so people can see me shuffle. And let's see what we got. Okay, so the first card I got for Felicia is the Five of Cups. So you have had some sort of loss or disappointment recently. And I've got the Seven of Swords, second time tonight for the Seven of Swords. So you're in some sort of situation where you can reach your goal, but you're going to have to work towards it. So be prepared to put in the planning and the work to get there. And then I have past. And we have an older woman looking at her younger reflection. And when this card comes up, what it means is it's time to let go of past patterns, past ways of thinking, anything from your past that's holding you back. And it doesn't even mean that these things were necessarily negative. It does mean that they no longer serve you and it's time to let go of them so you can move forward into the future. So, I hope that is helpful for you. Okay, and then, alrighty. And then Helga has asked for a reading about love. So let's get shuffled up here. Alrighty. Let's pull our cards for Helga. Well, the first card I've got for you is not necessarily about love. It is the Ten of Pentacles, which says you have everything you need in the material realm. The next card I have for you is Mind. And when this card comes up, it means that there is something in your current situation that you don't have all the information about. So you're saying you went on a date, but you're wondering about the energy between us. So there's something, you don't know everything about him yet. So you need to find out more. Then I've got Temperance. With Temperance, I'm going to say there's a possibility of some good energy there. And I'm going to draw another card, and I've got the Princess of Swords. And the Princess of Swords talks about careful communication. So when you're speaking with the new person, be sure you are communicating clearly. There's no possibility of, miscommunication. And then I drew one more, and I've got the Three of Lamps. Now, lamps are around spirituality, but the Three of Lamps says live up to your highest goals, or your highest ideals. Put them into practice. So I'm going to read it in a relationship is don't compromise here. So whatever you want as your highest ideal in a relationship, expect it here. And if it falls short of that, be ready to move on. I'm not saying it will, but don't compromise. So I hope that is helpful. Okay. Now I've got a question from Aisha. Did my sister-in-law A do magic on my brother? Okay. Can you clarify that a little, Aisha? Are you asking are you asking if this person did harmful magic? You are very welcome, Helga. If you could clarify that, please. I mean, I've been working various spells for protection and prosperity that have included my husband for over 20 years. So, yeah. Okay. All right. You're asking if A did a love spell. Okay. All righty. So, I am going to pull one card for this. If it comes out upright, the answer is yes. If it comes out reversed, the answer is no. Okay? It came out upright, so the answer is yes. Now, the thing is, a love spell never lasts forever. It will wear off. If his health is not good, encourage him to go to a doctor. Because love spells wear off. That's exactly what I mean. It will not last because you cannot create love with a spell. You can create attraction with a spell. You can't create love. Love has to grow naturally. So now, the last thing you want to do is say, I asked a tarot reader if she did a love spell, and the tarot reader said, yes. Just stay close to your brother. If he's not feeling well, encourage him to go to the doctor. If he seems unhappy, encourage him to talk to you. You are welcome. Okay, does anyone else have a question for me? Hi, Adam. If you have a question, you post your question here, and I do a 3-card, more or less, tarot reading. So, and I will be winding down for the evening soon. So, if you would like a reading, please go ahead and post your question. Okay, I am struggling with neighbors in my neighborhood being a bit inconsiderate and some illegal things through the water lines. I have been turned down by the city numerous times, and I guess the question is, will this new outcome turn out? Okay, So you're saying they have put something in the water line that's illegal? And Jade Rising wants a love reading. Okay, Adam. Let me get shuffled up here. Just a moment. And hello to Nyoka. Okay. So, Adam, the first card I've got for you is the Hermit. And the Hermit means that you know what you need to do in this situation, and you shouldn't be talked out of it by other people. The Fool also means we got the Fool, which means you're in a position to start over and go in any direction you want. You're starting a new cycle. And finally, I've got the Sun, which means you are headed for a good outcome. So if you've got an idea, go ahead. It's a good idea. Go ahead and do it. And you are going to see this work out in your favor. So I hope that's helpful. And then we've got Jade Rising. And thank you, Nyoka. It's my favorite hat to do readings in right now. So now we're going to do a love reading for Jade. It's springtime and everyone's thoughts are turning to love. You are welcome, Adam. Unless you're me and my thoughts are turning to pollen. All right, Jade, let's see what the cards have to say for you. All right, first we've got the Four of Pentacles, which is talking about the material realm. And when it comes to money and your possessions, you're in a stable position and you're able to share with others. Then I've got the Prince of Lamps. Now, lamps normally refer to spirituality and magic, but it could refer to romance. And as you can see, the prince here is wrapped up in barbed wire and looks like he's eating or drinking something that tastes pretty foul. He is the sort of ascetic that thinks he has to punish his body to make spiritual progress. And when this card comes up, it means we want something that just isn't good for us. So it could be in your love life, you may be looking at someone who is just no good for you. And then finally, we have the Lovers. Now, this card does not necessarily refer to a love relationship, but it does refer to being in a position where you need to choose between two equally good options. And I'm going to pull one more card for you. And I've got the King of Lamps, which suggests using your magic and your meditation in this situation. So that's what I've got for you, and I hope it's helpful. And Adam says pepperoncinos work great for allergies, good for the ears, nose, and throat. That's interesting. I'm not sure how good they'd be for my stomach, but I'll give it a try. Okay, and now I'm going to do the reading for Nyoka, and then that's going to be my last reading for the evening. And Aisha asked, do you remember any red flags at the beginning of their relationship? Nyoka says, right, I think about the pepperoncinos. It's sort of like wasabi. I can clear a stuffed up nose with wasabi if I have to. It's how my stomach reacts. But let's see what we have for Nyoka here. Alrighty. So the first thing I've got for you is the Magus. So in your current situation, you need to apply your magic. I've also got strength. So even if you don't believe it, you are strong enough to deal with it. And I've got the Four of Lamps, which indicates you may need to gather more information to act effectively. So I got one more card, and I've got the Queen of Cups, which indicates being in a good place where you are emotionally satisfied with your choices in life. So I hope that is helpful for you. And I want to thank everyone for joining me. Again, if you wanted to book a private tarot reading or have me do a numerology chart for you, or a reading with Reverend Don or Reverend Brian, you can do so at divinationtv.com. And Reverend Don will be filling in for me next week when I am at the Pagan Unity Festival. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. It is a long holiday weekend if you're in the United States, so be very careful, and blessed be everyone.